I'm Grady.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Charisse.
And welcome to Highlights, a show where we recap a reality competition show, usually a drag one, like it's sports, even though it's not. And this season, we are covering the 14th season of RuPaul's Drag Race. And we are almost done. We are on the second to last episode of the season, finally. I'm so excited, and it's a reunion. So, let's break it down. Previously on Drag Race. Last week's episode was Reunited, where we finally got to bring back all of the eliminated queens. And they all get to dish out on all the stuff that happened over the course of this extra long season. So, for the most part, all of the visuals are going to cycle in the back while we chat about everything that happened during the reunion. But if you'd like to look up a specific topic or wonder what we're going to chat about today, you can find the chapter time still in the description below. So, first things first, we get the new entrance looks as they all come back. And I will say, they did it from the RuPaul's Drag Race live stage at the Flamingo in Vegas, which is where they filmed the grand finale. Smaller venue than normal, but definitely a good way to advertise Drag Race live. And the set looks very good. This is how it looks actually on during the live show, which is pretty cool. So it's like the actual workroom.
It was super funny how RuPaul slid in that the gift shop at the RuPaul's Drag Race
Yeah.
Flamingo is always open.
Exactly. And it is. I've been to it. Although they definitely need better merch, I will say that. Anyways, so these entrance looks. In elimination order, first we had June Jambalaya.
I thought she looked really nice in this orange sparkly dress, at least from the top. I feel like she needed maybe just a little bit more of a waist, but I thought she looked fantastic.
This was the best I think she's looked all season.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say she looked better than when she was competing.
And then we had Alyssa Hunter.
I actually really liked Alyssa's look, but she always does really cool kind of out there editorial artistic looks. So I thought she looked really neat.
I really liked her hair and makeup. I felt like she was kind of missing a defined waist, but I really loved the use of color, and just her hair and makeup is stunning all the time, just like George's.
And then we had what is probably my favorite look of the night, which was Cornbread the Snack Jeté, who came dressed as Willow's original entrance look. But instead of Angel, she had Ankle. Oh, so good. So amazing. And she has her ankle wrapped. I loved it so much.
This was awesome. This was like clearly not taking yourself too seriously and having fun with everything. I thought this was great.
Mm-hmm.
No, for sure. I love their little odes to each other and like how close they are. It's super cute.
And then, do you need a condo on the beach? Because Orion Store is about to sell it to you. This was a weird choice. I liked her hair.
So out of place.
She did. I liked her hair. It was very vitamin C.
I
Do you
did
remember
like her
her?
hair.
Yeah. But that was about it.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know what she was going for with this look. Like what did we say when we were watching it? Like she looked like she worked for the hotel, and
Yeah, she like she's
followed
front
them
desk
there.
at the Flamingo. Yeah. And then we had a Metamorphosis here. She came in this kind of like, rocker denim dress outfit thing. Not the best, but I didn't hate it. And her makeup's gotten better.
It definitely took a while for the wig to grow on me. And then once it did, I was like, okay, I'm here for this mullet right now. And I liked the denim look, but she was missing a waist as well.
Yeah.
And it definitely, if she had a waist, she would have looked better. But
Yeah.
her hair and makeup is definitely getting a lot better.
And next we had the host of Trans Race, Carrie Colby. Who always annoyingly looks super beautiful. So she looks
stunning
gorgeous.
as
Yeah,
always.
she looks
For
gorgeous.
sure.
Just
And this
beautiful.
dress, this dress is kind of basic, but because it's Carrie Colby, you don't necessarily notice because she's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
glittered and beautiful. And of course, she knows how to work it.
And then we also had Jasmine Kennedy. And I gotta say, I really loved her look too. I kept looking at it. I loved the hair. I loved the stones in the hair she had up, and it blended so perfectly with the rest of her wig. It just looked good. Even the slinky looking bangs
The
she
slinky,
had
yeah.
looked really good. This dress looks really great on her. The train in the back, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this was beautiful.
It was. And if this is what she had gone with for the Glamazon Prime, right? Like something like this instead of what she actually did. Because there weren't too many accessories. Her hair was beautiful. I thought the color of the wig was a little off for the colors of the dress and stuff. But I loved the dress, the colors, oh my goodness. It was the best that she's looked all season long.
Yeah.
Period.
And then we had Georges, who looked like somebody Rob Zombie would cast in every single one of his movies for the talent.
Hello, Dad.
Aw.
And again, she's pretty much naked. No surprise here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just surprised it wasn't a bikini.
She looks pretty, and there wasn't really a prompt, so I can't really get mad at her. But it's Georges. It's Georges.
Pretty basic.
And then she's like, "You think I'm pretty?" And
And I mean, it's cute, but it's kind of expected. And of course, her hair and makeup looks beautiful.
then we had Deja Sky, who I said she looked like. I think I finally understand what her issue has been. I think she makes her dresses while she's wearing them, because it looked like she hadn't finished constructing this dress, and she's her own dress form mannequin. It's really
Complete
weird.
with style lines.
Yeah, exactly. I did not love this at all.
I did like her wig though. Her wig looked really cool.
Yeah, her hair looked really nice. That was it, which would be great if she had been decapitated. But,
For
if
sure.
it was a Futurama episode, great.
It's definitely a yes on the hair and the makeup. And I feel like I can always see what she's kind of going for. But Zach, maybe that is the problem. Maybe she needs a dress form, because there is some sort of fitting problem with the finished product.
Yeah.
For sure.
Once again, though, she is a self-proclaimed seamstress. So how does she not have a dress form to her size yet? I don't understand. This has bothered me all season.
Zach was like, "No. Why does she not have one?"
I expect better from you.
Okay. And then we had our top 5. So we had Angeria looking ever so regal in purple.
This wig gives me life. It gives me life.
Yeah, she looked good here.
Why didn't she wear this in the last challenge?
I don't know. I was thinking the same thing, Zach.
Yeah. This
She looked
would have
amazing
been a better
here.
semifinal.
And this wasn't even a challenge.
And the black
Right.
dress would have been a better reunion dress.
I agree.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Diabetes, who I gotta say, I thought looked gorgeous.
She looked amazing.
Yeah. She looked really gorgeous. We'll get there. I don't think her attitude was gorgeous. But her outfit, her wig, this was probably the best I think I've seen her look all season as well, which was good.
For sure. I totally agree. She looks great in this gold number. I love her earrings and her lips. I just was staring the whole time I was watching the episode. I was like, oh my gosh. Her face, the way her ears are sparkling. I loved all of it.
Next, we had Lady Camden, who I think this was probably next to Cornbread, my favorite of the mix. She looked amazing. I think it's the first time we've seen her in a black wig, which I actually thought was really suiting to her, except for her infamous girl group bob. But this was a really good wig on her, and another spectacular headpiece. Very great. And this dress was gorgeous on her.
Oh no, for sure. I was not ready for this dark number, and I really liked it. At first, I was mad that her legs were just skin, no tights or anything. And then as I looked at the look, I was like, you know what? This is way more androgynous, and I actually appreciate it without anything there, like without tights or any kind of sparkles or anything. It just really, I'm here for the androgyny.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I actually didn't feel the black wig at first because we hadn't seen her really in a really done up black wig. But the more I saw it throughout the episode, the more it really grew on me, and I was feeling this like kind of witchy vibe. And by the end of it, I was really feeling it. I really liked it.
Yeah, I really liked it too. Next we had Bosco, and this was okay. It was I think she was like a voodoo witch or something. She had the bone, and then she had the pentagrams, and
was it bone? I thought they were chains.
She had chains too.
She had a
she was
bone in her
carrying a bone
hand.
prop. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Meh.
It was kind of underwhelming. I mean, I love her
Yeah.
hair and makeup as always. I love her hair and makeup.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the rest of the look was kind of spirit Halloween for me a little.
Yeah, it
bit.
was weird. It was really costumey, and it just wasn't my thing. And I will say, to me, it looked like Lady Camden had banished Bosco out of her kingdom, and Bosco had become some sort of witch in the woods, like roughing it.
Swamp witch.
Yeah. And I lived for that. But unfortunately, by the look itself, it's meh. And last but certainly not least, we had Willow Pill, who wore a Fran Drescher inspired dress from one specific episode of The Nanny. You can check her Instagram for that reference. But it looked okay. Wasn't the greatest thing, but I will say, especially with her makeup and her wig, she looked gorgeous to me.
Not knowing that was the reference she was doing, I definitely had a what the hell moment because she did. It was not to the caliber of the other dresses and looks that I saw on stage. But now that I get that she was doing a very specific look and paying homage to somebody, I have a different opinion about it.
Yeah. So now let's get into some of the stuff we chatted about. And the thing I want to start with first was kind of spread out throughout the episode, but I want to do it all at once. And it was Clash of the Queens, which really should have been titled Jasmine versus Everyone, because every single clash was a Jasmine clash with somebody in the cast, which was weird. Which led me to think, I was like, is Jasmine the villain of the season? Like, we've had Diabetti like on my radar the entire time, but maybe it was Jasmine. But when we get to their fight, I'm like, no, it was Diabetti. Anyways, but we started first with Jasmine versus Cornbread, which I almost completely forgot about because it was so long ago and yesteryear.
I too had forgotten all about that conflict. I have been so focused on Diabetti's conflict with everybody else that I forgot Jasmine and Cornbread had a conflict at all.
I remembered. I was just wondering why Cornbread didn't call out Diabetti before she left too, because I felt like she was the other one who kind of needed to be called out a little bit. Because I need to be called out a little bit, but it takes a strong person to call somebody else out. But most of the time, when I'm acting that way, it's usually just paper tiger anyway. And I understood from Diabetti's perspective, and from certain other people's as they were talking about it, they were like, I was just trying to like gas myself up and like, you know what I mean, like root myself, like cheer myself on and get in the headspace that I needed to get into.
Okay, so then we had, which was probably the biggest battle of the evening. Jasmine versus Diabetti. And this was the part of the episode where everybody decided to address not only Jasmine and Diabetti's fight, but they decided to hash out everything amongst each other, and then the rest of the cast decided to hash out everything regarding Jasmine and Diabetti separately also. So issues people had with Jasmine, and a lot of people's issues with Diabetti, and a lot of how they felt about the fans having issues with Diabetti, how Diabetti's been perceived, Betty kind of had a moment where she got very emotional, knowing she's been kind of portrayed as the villain because of how she was acting. She tried to explain a lot of that. It seemed the cast was pretty split on whether or not, she deserved some benefit of the doubt, or whether no, like, you acted that way. It doesn't seem you've learned from the way you behaved. You're still kind of acting that way. This was a huge piece of this is where I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good episode. This is way more than I thought we were gonna get. Thoughts? Go.
So I walked away from this with a very different perspective on Betty than what I've had on her for most of this season.
That's not what I want to hear. I'm just kidding.
Well, so I really appreciated Carrie Colby's and June Jambalaya's breakdown and explanation of, Daya's interaction with everybody. And it's, very much look, when you're in this competition, it is a lot of pressure and stressors that a lot of people are not used to. And everyone handles that differently. And if for Daya, that was being the mouthpiece for what everyone was thinking and doing it in her way, which, as we all have agreed, was not the right way and was very aggressive and very rude at times. That's just how she vented that pressure. No one else understands that stress except for the people in that room. Because she has the camera on her, that's all that the world sees of Betty. If she's not like that, when she's not under pressure like that, the rest of the world doesn't see that. So I really started to think look, if this is all I've seen of Betty and I'm forming all of my opinions based on what I'm seeing of this character under an immense amount of stress and pressure, that's really not a fair assessment of her character.
Yeah.
All I'm seeing is someone who's under an immense amount of stress and pressure, and how she is interacting with other people who are also under an immense amount of stress and pressure, which is, the whole point of the show, right? That's why it's good TV, but it's not an accurate assessment of her character. And I agree with Carrie Colby in that all the hate and stuff that she gets online and really critical assessment of her character is not appropriate. My own included. I've said on previous episodes of this show that, I've been very, very critical of her behavior, and I've said some things about her, but, I've never been in her shoes. I've never been on RuPaul's Drag Race. I can't really say that I would behave any differently. And a lot of the things that Betty does and the behaviors that I criticize the most are things that I probably notice about myself that I don't like. And that's why I pointed out so much and so quickly. So that's kind of what I gathered walking away from this reunion about Betty. And I have a different appreciation for her. Am I a Betty stan? No, but I do see her in a bit of a different light now.
I would totally have to agree. I appreciated that Carrie Colby threw down that nobody needs to get death threats. I'm not saying that I'm a super Betty fan, right? I said she had good runways when she had good runways. It's not, I'm not critiquing her off of anything else other than what she's done this season. And I honestly don't think that anybody on reality TV deserves death threats or any kind of hate mail or trolling or whatever. It's just uncalled for. Even if I didn't like her runway, I don't wish she would die. Those are two totally different things. Two completely different things. She's a human being, right?
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes I'm the bitch of the season, and sometimes I just have to own it, right? And Alyssa Hunter totally told her that she was the bitch of the season, and I don't feel like Betty owned it. And I feel like sometimes she might have had low blood sugar, and I'm not trying to make excuses at all, but there are physiological things and noise that make it really difficult to filter our thoughts and our feelings when we're in the moment. And I feel like that's where some of her comments came from. And that, you know what I mean? I know that when I'm not feeling well, I have a really hard time watching my mouth and phrasing things in language that maybe doesn't hurt so much. You know what I mean? I'm really, really sharp when I don't feel good.
Absolutely. And you know what? As a diabetic, when your sugar is high, or when my sugar is high, I am definitely quicker to act and react and just say things that, when I level myself out later, I'm just like, wow, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's really hard to take ownership of myself and accountability for myself in times like that. Cause I'm just like, it's almost like it wasn't me making those choices because there's so much involved in what was going on at that time. And I can, you can really see Diabetes struggling with that as everyone's confronting her about it.
My thing is, I get all of those things. And yes, that's correct. I feel like compared to a lot of the other competitors, it's probably harder for her to keep her baseline. And that being said, though, my only thing that I was a little disappointed was that it didn't seem she had learned a lot from the behavior and watching it back, because even the way she talks to a lot of these queens here, even confronted with the way she addressed them previously and how they're feeling about it, it's like, I'm sorry you feel that way, which is not an apology,
right?
And
Absolutely.
Things like that.
Because I think we've all received an apology like that, and it's like, if you're not going to make an actual apology to me, then don't bother making one at all.
Absolutely. And so it was just disappointing for me, but that was pretty much it. I think she has a lot of growing to do, but I don't hate her. I've never hated her. I just sometimes I don't like her behavior. Sometimes I don't like her looks. That's it.
For sure. But she definitely was not taking onus and responsibility for her behavior.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Alyssa Hunter called her the bitch of the season. So own it.
Yeah.
But don't do some sort of like, I'm sorry that's how you felt about the mean thing that I said to you. That's uncalled for. Again, it doesn't need
that's
death
very
threats.
much, I'm sorry you took it that way, because that's not owning your part in it. That's relieving yourself of all responsibility.
Or validating them.
Right.
Exactly.
Because Georges is like, I felt like you didn't disrespect me. And she was like, well, it's kind of like when you're in school, like I was under a lot of pressure. So it was like, kind of deal with it. It was like,
exactly. And
the
one hand, it was like an apology. On the other hand, she was also super condescending with that whole analogy that she was concocting.
Yeah.
And it was just like, Jaya, you really haven't grasped this, and like, I have a lot of people in my life who gaslight me the way that Jaya was gaslighting Jasmine and Georges in that moment. And it was incredibly triggering for me. So it's just like, girl, you have got to, you may not have intended to cook a meal for someone that was spicy, but if it was spicy for them, it was still spicy to them.
Moving on. I will say the opposite of this interaction between Jasmine and Daya, which then became everyone with Jasmine and Daya, was Jasmine versus Maddie. Which, because they had that big blowout where Maddie, dressed as a rodeo clown, decided to throw down with Jasmine. Not what I would have done. But so they hashed it out here. They both, I think, very directly and appropriately still kind of reaffirmed what they were feeling in the moment, but then both took ownership of where they went wrong, and then both decided to move forward. They don't really seem like best friends to me, but I think they definitely handled this a lot more maturely, and that was kind of nice to see.
Absolutely. If you're going to be coworkers, you might as well have some sort of coworker understanding, and you don't have to be best friends. You don't have to be like super like kikiing it up or whatever, but at least have a cordial relationship. You can be polite. It's no big deal. And they did this the correct way where, hey, I took ownership. I apologize, whatever. And it literally it was nothing, and they both moved on.
Yeah. So we also got to discuss some fun things that occurred over the season, like some showmances, which is weird. I don't know if I like coupling them up together, but I guess, as they pointed out, when you're sequestered for like a month to film this show, What else are you gonna do?
Oh no. That's not what everybody said. That's what Georgia said
That's
about
true.
holding hands
That's true.
with Orion. That
That's
is not what
true.
Lady Camden said. That is not what Angeria said. And I was cracking up
Oh,
because
gosh.
basically Georges was like, if we weren't like just stuck with these 14 people, I probably wouldn't have found you attractive. Was basically what Georges said.
Loved all of this though. So we have Camgeria, which was Lady Camden in Angeria, which I have to say Zach called. And
You did.
yes, he thought something was afoot there. And I had no idea what he was talking about. And it was so funny because when they recapped the evidence, I was like, I don't remember.
It was
Any
47
of
weeks
this.
ago. It was 47 weeks ago. I didn't
There
remember
was
it
trouble
either.
at Hogwarts.
Like I remember it in the moment, and then I don't remember anything else.
I like them though. I think they're cute. I want them to get married.
They are.
I want Ariana Grande to marry them.
They're
I want the
adorable
whole
for
thing,
sure.
yes. I want the whole thing to happen. Oh, they're so cute. We also, out of left field, had Orion Storges, which is what I'm calling them, which was Orion Story and Georges. Not only to me a mismatch, but also I think a clear top and bottom, first of all. And then I just think it's weird. I don't know. And then it looks like one doesn't want anything to do with the other anymore after said hookup. It's weird, but yeah.
So Georges played like the whole thing down. Like Georges was trying to play the whole thing down. I was cracking up, and I never ever would have guessed this in 1.5 million years. Ever. I would have put Georges with somebody else. Like hands down, I can see Georges mingling with castmates. No shade. Wasn't meant to be shady in any way. Because when you are secluded, you do tend to have feelings where feelings might not ever have occurred.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Georges was like, no, it's no. And Orion was like, well, you never called me back.
You never said hello to us.
Gross. Next we had, I don't know how I feel about part of me is like, oh, this is cute, and then part of me is also like, is it? Which is corn pill, which is Willow and cornbread, which sounded, and as it was going on the show, to me felt more like I almost called it a bromance. That's probably super disrespectful to this population. But I don't know, like really close friends, like on a different kind of level. But then I don't know, the way they addressed this, like something else was happening. I don't know, but it's kind of cute. But again, is it? I don't know.
I felt like a different kind of companionship, not romantic.
Yeah. So then we had some other expected topics, but weren't really big. And some of them I was kind of tired of hearing about, to be honest. So for the 116.17.5 whatever time, we talk about Maddie Morphus as being straight.
Oh my gosh. She's straight?
I know.
This is the first
shocker.
time hearing of it.
I know.
I had
Breaking
no
news.
idea.
Yeah.
Her style sense didn't give it away.
Breaking news. That being said, I really loved the way she broke it down and responded to it, because I can tell she's tired of talking about it. I can tell she was uncomfortable when production kept bringing it up when filming. And I'm sure she was really uncomfortable when production made it a huge part of the promo and then people reacted the way they did. And as we've talked about previously on this show, like before Drag Race, like it really wasn't part of her narrative. She didn't advertise herself that way. She didn't talk about it ever on her social media. It wasn't part of her performances. You know, she very much just wants to be Maddie Morphosis, the performer, and that's it. And so I really liked her response to it. And I like that she also threw the people that kind of were critical of her a bone and said the way they feel is valid, because not everybody should do drag, because this is what drag is, this is what it means, and not everybody understands that. And if they don't understand that, then they should not be doing the art form. And I really respected that, because she seems to get it, to understand it, to be grateful to be a part of the community, even though she technically is outside of the community, and wants to be instead part of the bridging of two worlds instead of a reason to divide them, which I think is good.
She definitely, like, I love the way that she put everything. She was really succinct. It was really, you know, hey, this isn't really what I talk about. I'm not trying to make all these straight little boys want to do drag, because that was never my intention, right? And like, drag has its history in queer spaces, and I appreciate that she knows exactly where drag comes from, and that the history isn't lost on her. That's really important.
That being said, everyone else is trans. I was like, not everyone. That's like a exaggeration, but you know, a lot of people, not only on the show, but then after filming wrapped and as it was airing, came out as trans, which I said, man, this must be really confusing and challenging for RuPaul, because RuPaul didn't originally just wanted regular gay old man to be doing drag, you know, on RuPaul's Drag Race. Didn't want trans performers. Pretty sure probably didn't want straight men on there. You know, and so this is probably the most progressive new generation of drag type of cast we've had so far. And I'm glad to see Rue actually have some fun with them. I mean, it seems like Rue likes Maddie. It seems like Rue likes, you know, Carrie and Willow and Cornbread and sometimes Jasmine, you know, and all of these other people who are, you know, kind of pushing drag forward into other parts of the community and all of these other things. So
Bosco too. Does that make half the cast then?
Yeah, it's about half the cast.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure RuPaul is just like, I knew there were more. And like past seasons, as far as like Kylie Sonique Love and like the reunion episode where she's just in tears and she's just like, I don't ever want to take my makeup off. These bitches don't understand. And like, my heart was breaking for her in that season. And then for us to be here now, that's a long way.
That being said, we are also blessed with the Holy One herself, the trans Jesus, Carrie Colby, who then proceeds to speak to the cast as if she created trans people and birthed them all. It was so weird, especially to Jasmine, who I made a joke when, you know, they recapped Jasmine's speech to her during Untucked that she probably just autographed her koozie and like gave it to her. It was, I appreciate what she said. It just came off sometimes. It's like, so like, yes, my children, you are here and I am with you. Like, and I was like, calm down.
She's building an army.
Yeah.
Well, her homeschool church roots definitely were showing for sure. Like she was just preaching to the Trangels, and I love my homeschool kids.
Execute Order 66.
And then half of RuPaul Drag Race turns trans.
Exactly. This race is now mine.
I am Drag Race.
Lightning out of our fingers. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. This went into a way different genre.
I was gonna say those are another recap videos. Like those
Exactly.
are other recap videos.
Exactly.
Other
It's a different show.
on
Different
highlights.
show.
Different show on
So
highlights.
sorry. Different show.
All
Subscribe
bleeds
to
together.
PGMEDIA.
It's all right.
So as is customary now on the reunions, and to promote fashion photo review because it's a WoW Presents Plus show, we do a session of tooting and booting of all the looks, and they make it pretty easy. It's like the ones that they're supposed to like get a toot, the ones they're supposed to boot get a boot.
Angie telling Deja Sky that the shoulder pad look was her best look, even though she was sitting in front of her right there, like that cracked me up.
But was she wrong?
No, she wasn't wrong. I'm not saying that she was wrong. I just found it hilarious.
Yeah.
Deja Sky probably didn't think it was her best look though.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And that's what kind of, yeah.
I will say I heard a couple people like Lady Camden like boot Deja Sky's shoulder pads look.
They
and
did.
I was like,
yeah.
and I was like, that's weird because she was the only one who really did the prompt that week. So maybe we should calm down.
For sure. But I appreciated that other people had some stuff to say about George's freaking lingerie. Like,
Yes.
I was here for it.
They give out the golden boot, which is a newish tradition.
Did it start last season with Lala Ree?
I believe so. I believe that was the first time we did it.
I could see how that could be something that would, like, I could see how Lala Ree could inspire that tradition.
Yeah. And she
a
got to
dress.
present it, which was cool.
know.
So Lala Ree got to come back and present it. She was like, here's Lala Ree. And then, but virtually, she's not here. We didn't invite her.
Right. Lala Ree looked good though.
Yes, she did. She looked a lot better. Although if I were her, I would do another bag look and elevate it as my presenter look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been a good idea.
Yeah. If you really wanted to double down and make that your thing, that's what you do. Missed opportunity, Lala Ree. Branding. Anyways, but Maddie Morphosis gets it as was expected.
She looked so sad. Like she looked
Like
so
offended.
sad. I know, like
Like
offended, sad. I felt
She's
bad,
like,
but there was no other answer.
Then we wound things down and wrapped up with our final five. You know how they felt about making it all the way. Diabetti gets a shout out because she had been eliminated. Got to come back. Bosco too, eliminated, saved by a gold bar and got to make it to the finale. Very lucky, those two. And then, you know, I forgot my thought. Anyways, go ahead. Any thoughts on
Camden's
this?
low was the best.
Lady
Yes.
Camden's low.
The
Yes.
highlight.
Oh God, I'm putting this in the visuals.
Yeah.
For
Oh no,
comparison.
for sure.
Mhm.
That she compared herself to Herbert the pervert from Family Guy is
Right?
amazing. And I can't unsee it, and it is
Me
so
neither.
funny.
Well, the fact that we didn't notice to begin with and now none of us can unsee it is just
She looks
Oh, God.
exactly like.
a
does.
lot. No, I know. Exactly like him.
Okay, time for top tweets. All right, so before we wrap up and head out, just a reminder, this is what we're looking at going into the scoreboard. So, as always, these are the competitors we started with. Here's our final five. You are either Team Lady Camden, Team Angeria, Team Willow Pill, Team Bosco, or Team Diabetti. One of these people will take the crown next week. Should be exciting. Elimination order, all the same. Top 5 going to the finale. Don't know how that's going to work for placements yet, but it could be anybody's game. Up for elimination, Willow Pill and Angeria were both up for elimination 2 times. Lady Camden, the only person up for elimination only 1 time. Only in the bottom once. And it was for a challenge everyone got punished for. It wasn't even something she messed up herself, which was pretty cool. Diabetti and Bosco both have already been eliminated previously and saved, and both were up for elimination 2 times, including the ones where they were eliminated. Also, fun fact, and they clearly decided it after they filmed the reunion also, but the prize money has been increased. So the winner is actually going to get $150,000, and the runner-up will also now get a check of $50,000 as well, plus whatever winnings they got while competing. And, you know, they also get the appearance fees for each episode, which is pretty cool too. So everybody got some coin. Plus, if they won mini challenges or challenge wins, they got extra winnings, and then the big cash prizes.
It's
very
big
good
money
stuff.
to be on RuPaul's Drag Race season.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it. Challenge wins and rankings. So again, oddly enough, Lady Camden actually has performed the best out of all the competitors. 3 challenge wins under her belt. She's in first place. Angeria and Willow in second place and third place, right behind her. Bosco and Diabetti also very close together in 4th and 5th place, respectively. Oh, wow. I'm excited to see how it all plays out. Who do you think is going to take it?
I really want Lady Camden to win. That's like my dream scenario. My dream scenario is Lady Camden wins and Willow places second. I could also kind of see Lady Camden winning and Dia getting second.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 I really see happening, though.
I will say, based on the fan reaction so far all over social media, people are pretty much feeling the same way. They really want either Willow Pill or Lady Camden to win. And I will say Willow Pill is ahead by, I think, a pretty large margin, but Lady Camden has a very large following now and a lot of support now. So it might, depending on how things go in the finale, could be her. And I kind of hope it is, because I really think she's earned it. But I'm fine with Willow earning it too, you know, and getting the crown. I do think it will be one of them. Not a lot of support for Bosco or Diabetti, I will say. And they're not far apart from each other in terms of support, which I was a little surprised by.
What about Angeria?
Angeria is right in the middle. And she's actually a lot lower than I thought she would be. But I think people noticed that she kind of puttered out, which we kind of talked about last week. But it seems like everybody else got that vibe too. So even though I think everybody really loves her, but compared to Willow or Camden, it's like there's no contest. So
yeah.
That being said, this week's episode is, in fact, the grand finale. And in highlights tradition, we'll be reacting to the winner in real time as we watch the episode, which is going to be super exciting. Yes. And so we will break down the grand finale also, you know, after the winner's announced, and, you know, all of our initial reactions will be put out there and wrap up the season together. So exciting. If you would like to check out any of our past or ongoing coverage of RuPaul's Drag Race, you can check that out right here on the PG Media channel. You can also follow PG Media on social media. Sometimes posts end up there, sometimes they don't. You can find the information for that in the description below. Subscribe today also so you don't miss out. And as always,
thank you for watching Highlights.
And we'll see you next time.